Good evening, students and parents. Hope you're doing well. This is probably one of the word problems that students have been having the most trouble with. So I've given a lot of different exercises on this word problem. This one's a little bit less information, but they should be able to start to build an understanding of how to solve this word problem based on all the experience they've had before. Good luck with this. It's difficult, but this is a series of word problems that they'll find on the state testing. There's 6 of them, and this is one that's probably the hardest. This is the hardest word problem for area and perimeter, and no one's got it right except for one student so far has figured it out. So it's a little bit like a puzzle. But all our puzzle pieces were put together here, and I gave you a sheet that had the 3-column T-chart filled in, and still not a lot of you got it. So this is the most difficult problem you will have with area and perimeter, and there's still some other problems for area and perimeter that you have to figure out, but this is the most difficult. So if you figure this one out, you're pretty damn smart. Now, we have to, some of you down here, we have to read the question to figure out even what they're asking. How much length of fencing will you need to buy? Okay, so if we were to turn that question into a statement, this is why constructive response is so necessary. We would say, I need to buy some length. Don't forget your unit. You can't go in and say, I need 12. You go to Home Depot and you go up to one of the Home Depot associates and say, "Hi, I need 12. I need 17." They're going to think, "Why you 7? What units do you need to make that in?" So, remember our units over here. I need to buy so many units, whatever they happen to be. Remember to include them in here of fencing. And then question number 2 is something you should be familiar with. What will the perimeter be when you're done? So down here, you have to write that question into a statement. So let's go ahead and fill in our T-chart. We have known. This is why T-charts, 3-column T-charts, are helpful for word problems, because this is everything the word problem is going to be. Every word problem you ever do from now to college is going to be like this. There's going to be numbers involved. Okay. Now here they give us one number, 72. We don't have to put our units up here because our units are going to go down here. But Mr. Buddinger's 3-number principle. We're missing a couple numbers here. 1, 2, 3. 1 they give us, 2 we're missing. That's one thing that makes this hard. Our units, area and perimeter, okay? It tells you right up here what, oh, I'm sorry, it is area and perimeter, but here's 1 unit, square yards, and I went ahead and abbreviated it for you, and there's another unit, okay? And we'll talk about that in just a minute. And then you have operations. This is what I meant about going up here. You have area and perimeter. So what operations do we have in area perimeter? Most of you got this right. We have multiplication and we have addition. So let's just think of this. It says, how much length of fencing will you buy? So we're going to have a length of fencing. It's going to look like a number line. And they're saying, you buy this much fence. This is where Home Depot is going to cut that fence off and you're going to have this length of fence. That's what they want you to figure out. So let's just, from here, let's just go get a page, blank sheet of paper. We're going to make some notes. Okay. And they give us 72 square yards. I'm going to abbreviate it. And what shape is a horse corral? Okay, you're familiar with that shape, and you're familiar with how we measure shapes when we're talking about area and perimeter. So you should have said, hey, that's going to be a rectangle. There'll probably be some posts here. I see hundreds of these all over the reservation. So you should know how to build one of these things. Now, the next step is, just looking over here at this side, is we're going to be doing some multiplication. Okay, with there's two numbers here we don't know, and we're going to be doing some addition with perimeter, right? This you should already know when I say area and perimeter, and you should know which one of these equations is for area and which one's for perimeter. Now, if we take the perimeter, there's our number line. Our number line isn't straight, but it goes all the way around. And we know that these numbers are going to repeat. It's going to be a pattern. One number, one number, one number, one number. There's going to be a pattern of these. And then these two numbers down here are going to be the same numbers. That's halfway around the corral. That means this number plus that number is going to equal some number over here. And that number, if we walk around the corral, is going to be right here. Okay, that's halfway. When you have two of the same numbers, you have as much on one side as you do on the other. That's going to be half of it. So now you have to look at this 72 square yards and figure out, where does this actually fit in here? Where does this go? I've had some people put them here and try and figure out what numbers are going to be here that makes this corral something, and then they get confused about what numbers to put up here for the area. I've had some students put numbers in here and they don't even know how to multiply 72 times 72. We haven't gotten to double-digit equations yet. We are going to get to double-digit equations, but not yet. So, this perimeter here, when they say length, this halfway point is going to be right here somewhere. This is going to be the halfway point. And we're going to add these two together. That is going to be this number here. You could put these two numbers up here on the number line, and you'd have a number line. So do we measure this number line in squares? Is that what they gave us? You're going to have to think about that. So take your notes, okay? Try and figure out what explains over here, what is the area, what would explain the area over here in your model, and what would explain the perimeter. And which one of these equations explains area and perimeter. And then, where does this number go in these over here? Where do you think this number is going to work? You can try it in several different places. Make another separate sheet of scratch paper. Make a skip counting chart and see if you can start to see how to determine, how to answer the question, I need to buy how many units of fencing. This is when you go to buy the fencing. They don't sell the fencing in a square and it's already done for you. You have to go out there and buy that fencing. So good luck with that. It's a difficult problem and I hope you give it a lot of attention.